I'm going to talk to you about elastic selection for the bralette and the swim top. So for the band, we've chosen to use a regular non-roll elastic. So generally they come looking something like this or something like this. My preference personally is this one. It's very firm, and these very pronounced ribs here I find really help prevent it from rolling. Whereas this one is a bit softer this way, and maybe that suits you better. This one happens to be 1 1/4 inches and this is 1 1/2 inches. Probably 1 1/4 inches is my personal preference for the band, but we'll come back to that in just a minute. For the neckline and the armholes of the bralette, we use a fold over elastic. So that's what this looks like. You can see it has a kind of, the way it's woven, it naturally folds in the middle. There's a kind of matte side and there's a shiny side. Now, I think you're probably supposed to have the shiny side out, but I don't like that. I actually prefer to have the matte side out because I think it's softer and I like the look of it better. So I always fold mine with the matte side out. This one is, sorry. When it's folded, it is about 8 millimeters wide. It's the 5/8 of an inch wide. So this is the wider of the easily available folder elastic. If you can only get the narrower one, that's fine too. It's just a little bit more fiddly to apply. Sometimes people like to press it in half before they sew it on. They find that easier. I don't really find I need to do that, but if you're having a bit of trouble, then I would recommend trying that. For the swim top, you need to get chlorine resistant elastic. The reason is because when you swim in something, the elastic does tend to break down. So that comes in 2 different styles generally. It comes in this style, which is just like a piece of rubber. This is quite a thin one. I've heard from some of our testers that they've only been able to get thicker ones and their machine had a bit of trouble sewing that, but this is a thinner one. And then this is another style. This is the braided type that I just get from my local fabric store. This is quite easy to get. You can tell the difference that it's the chlorine resistant one because it's kind of cream in color or ecru, like a natural color, whereas regular elastic is very white. So it's, I think it's actually like a cotton braided around the elastic. So there's that. This is actually it in a larger format, just so you can see it's kind of braided. Now, with the swim top, it is, of course, ideal to have chlorine resistant elastic everywhere you're going to put elastics. However, for the structure and support of the swim top, it's really important to have a firm band. And so made the decision to use regular elastic in the band, but make it easily replaceable. So that's why we leave, there's a gap where you thread the elastic. That's why we leave that open so it can be replaced if it happens to perish. Alternatively, I suppose you could use this, but it won't give you the best support. This is about the widest one you can get, which is why I didn't choose this. It's less than 1 inch wide. It's only like 3/4 of an inch wide, and that just doesn't give me enough support. If you want firmer support for your elastic in the band, you can actually double this up. So you can actually either sew it together with a zigzag, and that will make it very, very firm, or you can just thread it in 2 loops. That works as well. So if you find that you're not getting enough support at that band, if it's slipping up or slipping down, you can try that out. Anyway, I hope that has helped you with your elastic selection.